Well, my name is Dave Miga, and I'm the person who started and runs the Electronic Design Specialist Corporation, which is a tiny corporation. But basically we have a lot of clients, or I've had a lot of clients in the past since I'm mostly semi-retired now. Basically what we do is we take the client's idea of what they want to do and think about a way of making it work mechanically and electronically and come up with a prototype. And if they like what they see, we come out and do our production. We do small amounts of manufacturing, I guess you could say, in Pompano. And then if it's a very successful part, such as the stuff I do medically right now, then at that point we have contacts in China that make our boards, stuff the boards. Born in New York, like many people, Queens, very, very poor family. And so had to pretty much work from the age of 10, you know, the usual things, the newspaper routes, fix bicycles and that sort of thing. But I've always had the ability of figuring out how things worked. And I've always had the intuition to figure out when I took it apart how to put it back together again as well. And the day I turned 18, I took my old Chevy, had a 64 Chevy Nova that barely ran, and flew and drove down to Florida. And after that, started school. And while I was at college, I was working part-time. What put an end to that, unfortunately, was the recession we had. We had a bad recession and first oil shortage, 74, 75. And landed up losing my jobs and just barely made it out of college. I did get the Associate of Arts in Engineering degree, but that's about as far as I could go. I'm not going to lose hope of the dream of wanting to be an inventor and have my own company and design electronics, but in the meantime I know I'm just going to have to work at something else. So I had saved up a little bit of money, not enough to go to a university, but enough to at least get a small store started. So that's when I decided, let me go ahead and start a small CB shop and make some money doing that. Maybe after a few years doing that, then I can go ahead and reinvestigate going to school for the rest, for the other 4 years to get my master's in electronic engineering. After having 3 stores, because I did have a chain of 3 stores at that time. So I took a year off and did a lot of research and studying, and so I came up with the name Electronic Design Specialists, and put myself out there saying, hey, you know, maybe we can go ahead and start designing stuff for you. Well, EDS had a good run. I mean, we had a good 20 years, and probably by around 2015, sales were starting to slow down. And I think the reason for that is that there were simply less and less technicians wanting to fix things. It was less expensive to buy a new VCR or a new DVD player than it was to fix the old one. The best thing that I could do was make an endowment to a university where there are kids that actually do want to build stuff. They want to design stuff, they want to build stuff. And I'd like to thank the dean for recognizing me, considering that I'm not really an alumni or anything like that, but it's just really appreciated that I'm getting this award, and it gives me some recognition, and hopefully people who have come up the hard way as I did will understand that they can do it also. And it's great when people appreciate what you're doing, and I do thank you for the award.